Hey, what's going on everybody? Mqzuba here. And in this one, I'm going to be taking a look at a Gruul Aggro deck for standard best of one. This deck is similar to the mono green aggro deck that's been very popular over the course of the past couple of weeks, but it has different tools in cards like Gruul Spellbreaker, Embercleave, Bone Crusher Giant, and Rubber the Rich. Basically, Embercleave being the most powerful card this deck has access to in the color red. The main issue with it is the mana is quite bad. Playing tapped lands is not an issue that mono green has to deal with, so I'm going to try to mitigate that by not running any temples, running 4 passage, bunch of mountains, and the stomping grounds. But yeah, we got a bunch of new cards from M21. I want to try out the new Garruk in Gruul. The double devotion to green isn't as bad as triple green that Vivian 4 asks, so it might be a better fit. Also, a lot of our creatures have haste, so pumping them for 3 might actually be a relevant ability. Like in a later game, let's say we have a Garruk and we top deck a Robber of the Rich. That's a 2 mana 5/5 with haste, which is quite strong. So other cards we have in the deck are Scavenging Ooze. This card's been very good in standard recently. Any deck that's fairly aggressive, or even not, isn't like control-y Banty decks are running it. Eat the Graveyard, get bigger, gain some life. It's good in plenty of matchups. Primal Might as a very solid removal spell. Running it over Domri's Ambush even, because the pump can be more relevant. Stonecoil Serpent, good curve filler. Again, taking from the mono green decks. Gemrazor, because we're playing in best of one, and Cat Oven is still super popular, and also punishes artifacts and enchantments, as well as being a sort of curve filler, as in Bone Crusher Giant we can play on 2 and 3. Gemrazor we can play on 3 and 4, as well as Stonecoil Serpent being able to be played on literally any mana number that we need to. So the fact that we have all these flexible cards in their mana costs means that although the mana might not be perfect, hopefully we'll still be able to get there. And I'm testing out one Elder Gargaroth in the 5-drop spot. If this thing sticks, it can take over a game. And in best of one, the meta is a lot more aggressive. So the gaining life, vigilance, and potential card advantage is very relevant. Like, it comes out of the sideboard in like Simic Flash decks against aggro. So maining one could be pretty cool, as well as giving this thing Embercleave is disgusting. So alright, hope you guys enjoy. Deck list will be in the description, and we'll head to the games. Alright. I think we keep Bone Crusher as a nice curve fixer. Can thin the deck on 1. Have a 2 and a 3. Onto whatever we might need. Hopefully draw something cool along the way. Opponent mulligans, love to see it. Yeah, okay. Not even gonna bother roping him on 1. Oh yeah, you peep that mountain. Be afraid. Breeding pool, yep. Embercleave, cool. Drawing a bit too much of the top end of our deck. Probably just Growth Spiral. Oh, he's thinking. Is this a counter spell? Lofty Denial? Quench? Negate? What do you got? Aether Gust. Sure. Slam a 4/3. I don't think that changes my life too much. Ramp. Okay. think I'm just gonna push in damage. Get him for 8. If he can't appropriately respond, I just cleave him. Issa, that's fine.
I will protect the virtue of this world.
I had a feeling that might be coming. Doesn't even matter.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Sure. Leave up the giant. And yeah. Good game. Outpaces ramp quite readily. Alright, pretty good. On the play, gonna need double green again. Mana immediately showing why it's not as good. There we go. And we should be off to the races. Curve seems pretty solid. Not a hasty threat, but nonetheless, still relevant. Especially against black. Can need some graveyard potentially. Is this a Grasp of Darkness? Get in there. Be aggressive. Paragon. Sure. Bit of a laggy combat. Interesting. Grasp of Darkness, so he did have it. I think we just play out the creatures. Set up for a number cleave next turn. And pass. Reggie? Sure. I played this through... Nope, not enough mana. Blocks the Bone Crusher. That's fine. Get in with that cleave damage. Buff the Pelt Collector. If we draw a land, I'll be able to play Robber and equip cleave. Second Reggie. Suit up the collector. Get in there. I mean, we have the mono black aggro deck on the defensive, so we just keep trying to push in damage while we can. Freebooter. Probably gonna grab the Robber. Grab second cleave. I don't know about that call. I don't think that's it. Garruk? Sure. We'll go for Garruk. Beast. It buffs its own loyalty, which is really cool. So the freebooter wouldn't have been able to pick at it. I mean, it still can, but less effectively. Oh yeah, freebooter going face. Trying to spectacle a Spawn of Mayhem. Indeed he is. So I can equip cleave, get in for 8. Well. What's the correct way to do this? I can get another creature down. I think I just force him to deal with this boar. Because if not, it's lethal. Yeah. And you just can't handle the big boar. Garruk put in work. Alright. Let's go. Hopefully we find some nice land. That has been a theme of tonight. Mono red. Oh yeah, there's the land. Get this down. for a turn 2 Steamkin that we can just stomp. And that's it. You know what? I am just going to main phase this. I'm not looking for a pump thing. Like double instance. Main deck shield breaker? Well, someone knows what they're trying to beat. Fastest game of all time. Mono Red stands no chance. I'm playing. Alright. Pretty good hand. We got the spot fixers with the serpents. The fact that we have 3 makes me feel very confident to play one of them on one. Trying 3 stone cold serpents. Very interesting. Okay. Oh yeah. Get that shock damage in. Opponent on some sort of teamer thing. Probably wreck based off how this started. Question is he main decking sweepers? Oof, that's kind of awkward. Well, at least we can eat the Oro. And I'm not gonna play out my stone coals for 1 right now. Sure. Crack these open. Grab a green and a red. I was trying to draw a land there, because curving or hitting all my land drops doesn't sound horrible. Question is, do I push through damage here with a beast, or but I think I just slammed the beast. Aether Gust and expansion. Do I want the ooze on top? I think I'll take the ooze. And you know what? I will take both of these. Like, it slows me down, but he still has to respect them. Like, he has to have answers. Like, if you can't answer it, I'm just gonna slam the beast again. And it is gonna do its thing and get in there. Yeah, I'm not hitting my land drops, but I am putting out threats that he has to deal with every turn. And if he's going to spend 5 mana to scry, I am very happy. 1 to the top, sure. I think I just go in. Save the hasty Spellbreaker. Sure. Slam a big serpent. Let him scry. He is juggling my cards very well, but the haste on these is super powerful. Alright, hitting land is good. Well, I think I just attack. Threaten cleave. And that's a good game. Beating up on Team Garruk. You'll love to see it. Alright. Honestly, pretty weird hand, but I think I still keep it. Double Stomping Ground can be very important. And Azorius. Cool. Yes, yes, information denial. I know. Oh, just, is this pure blue-white? If it is, the quantity of haste threats we have makes this a pretty solid matchup. Get out the ooze. Primal Might, probably not the greatest. Sure, Casket's the ooze. Okay, so second questing beast will probably be relevant as long as we hit our 4th land. We can always mutate onto the Gem Razor. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'm on about. So we mutate here. Or mutate onto the Stonecoil Serpent to blow up the casket. Get back my ooze. I'll attack. Sure, he has 3 lifelink on the way back, but it is applying pressure. ACD. Okay, that's good. Uh-huh. Does he get in for 3? He does. Alright. So, we were really looking for that land. We'll fight the Archon with the ooze. And no attacks. Once the Elspeth Conqueror's Death targets the Archon, I can exile it with the ooze, which is pretty big. I'll get down second ooze, that's okay with me. Maybe we should have done that post-combat. Makes a 1-1. If his whole turn is making a 1-1 to chump 2 damage, I am A-okay with that. Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Yep. Eat the Archon. You'll love to see it. Who's putting in that work? So, my opponent here having absolutely no trouble hitting their land drops. Okay. But they are getting lower on resources, or as I have a handful of them. Perfect. I'm gonna go for the questing beast, as he does have to respect it. He can get in for 6, putting me at 4, but I can always slam a Gem Razor, giving my things reach. It's a fairy. Yeah.
This isn't a fight you can win. I'll protect you.
Casket, brutal. Oh, so he is going for a race. Okay. Until end of turn. Just checking. Go face.
Really should have seen that coming.
And if I had a 5th land, it'd be very solid. I could mutate over. I think I just slam this as a 4/4. Yeah. And my opponent has drawn the actual nuts. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. And us landing our 5th land hurts, quite frankly. Okay. So it looks like we're playing mono green. Sure. The mana is tricky. Okay. Just mono red on the mulligan. Hello. That double questing beast not looking so great. Uh-huh. Finds land. Don't know if he was missing it. Okay, alright. So there's our red mana for if we ever find a red spell. I think we hold everything back. Just for now, at least. Annex. We can deal with Annex pretty readily. He does get the 1/1s, but I think now it's time to start applying pressure. Yeah. If he has the cleave, he has the cleave. Okay, second Annex. And if I attack it, he doesn't block with anything. He's at 1, and then if he has cleave, it's just lethal, I think. But Questing Beast does have vigilance, so we'll see. Yeah, puts him to 1. Is his whole turn just a cleave? Good game. Yeah. Doesn't have it. Again, showing how big green creatures match up against red. We pretty much played mono green that game. Alright. This hand is interesting, but we keep. See how it goes. Okay. So, Hollowed Fountain gives me hope that this is a control-your deck, like, obviously Zori's control, Bat Ramp, Esper control. Speak the devil. Where my haste creatures will be able to put in more work. Like, double questing these two is pretty relevant. Omen. He can set up so that I just get a land off robber. Oh, I have less cards. My mistake. I'm going to grab green, just to make sure I can have Questing Beast if I draw any land. Borrower, removal spell. Okay. So I think this is worth it. It's sort of like blanking a removal spell. Get to keep the robber. He cries for 1 robber. Yeah. You do that. You know what? I'm just gonna get the haste threat down. I'm gonna slam a Questing Beast. I have a second one if he deals with it. And if I draw another land, I can double spell Robber and Bone Crusher Giant. Bone Crusher Giant Scavenging Ooze. This deters him from playing Narset. Discard a card. Ooze can go. So, Spellbreaker here is very solid. Just more pure haste damage, and it plays around Extinction Event. Thought Erasure. Oof, you're not affecting the board, my boy. takes the robber because if he can't deal with my board, he's just dead to it next turn. If his play is purely disinformation campaign, I'm not upset. Like, that's fine. Oath of Kaya is a pretty good one. Slows me down. Yeah, it just goes for the campaign again. I'll ditch the Serpent. And that's game. Just pump up the Spellbreaker. Pushing for lethal. Feels good. That's where Gruul shines against slower control decks, where their haste threats just put in consistent damage. Easy keep. Playing against Tug Marshall. Lovestruck Beast. So, also on Gruul, he's on a different version than I am. Card choices are similar, but not quite the same. Get in there. I'll take a trade with the Paradise Druid for anything. Yep, that's okay. I honestly didn't think he'd block with it, but the fact he did is fine with me. Hold up Stomp for the 1/1. It's a frustrating blocker, but it's fine. Like, it's not the end of the world. The Lovestruck Beast, that is. Does he get in there with the rubber? He does. Gets a Spellbreaker that I do not want him having, so I'll trade this off right now. Play a 4/4. Could have also been fine just to play the Bone Crusher Giant, but I figured I'll get a big boy down. Make him start blocking with the Questing Beast. Also, no double red. One of the problems with Gruul, if he doesn't have the mana, he can't cleave. Yeah, I expect him to block that. Defensive cleave taps the Druid. I'm impressed. Now, does he have a 1/1? That would be the ultimate debate. Okay, he doesn't. Alright. So go for a 1/1 here. What you got? Mutate onto it. Blow up the Embercleave. The fact that he mana fixed with the Druid for a defensive cleave is just... wow. I did not think of that. That's okay though. There we are. Got another defensive cleave. If so, I will be very impressed. Okay, blocks that. That's fine. If he blocked the Spellbreaker, I'd honestly be worried for another defensive cleave. But this trades. Yep. I mean, if he wants to, he can start getting aggressive with the Paradise Druid. Problem is I just stomp it. Ooh, okay. So I can... If I cleave an attack, he just doesn't block, then does he kill me on the way back? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm not dead on the way back, but I'm not good either. I have more resources. I think I just blow that up. Thank you. And hold this back. Sure, I can get in for 5, but he can get in for more on the way back. Ah, there's your double red. Also, this is why we tech the gem razors. You see it's putting in work. Hoo-hoo, Garruk. Okay. Sure, we'll get in there. I mean, we have the cleave on the field, but... I mean, yeah, that's 5 exactly. Sure. Have you met Garruk? Honestly, I really do just kind of want to play with this Planeswalker. He's so cool. Same, bro. Same. Scoos. Nice. Can become a 7/7. That's an issue. Gain 7 life. Pretty gnarly top deck, not gonna lie. Actually, can become a 8/8. Yo. Eats my entire graveyard. Feels good. Well, entire. You guys know what I mean. Beef up the boar.
I like to think big.
Get that cleaved up boar. Pushing for some damage. Oh yeah. I'll take this trade any day of the week. Because that means he has to tap the Paradise Druid. And... I think I'll keep my cleaved up boar. Thank you. You can have your Paradise Druid. I changed my mind. So, although he had a pretty solid ooze slam down, we brought it home. Alright. So as you can see, we picked up the sick Garruk art style, alternate, premium, whatever you want to call it. Opponent starting out with a Gilded Goose, that's fine. We don't have a 2-drop, but it's still good enough that we keep. Oof. That's rough. Okay. I'm gonna play the Passage, just because bending the deck can be important, especially if you draw on 5 lands on turn 2. Opponent spends the whole turn making the food. That's fine. Opponent attacking, he can block and make the food at the same time. It doesn't change anything. Ironically, I do think we just grab more green mana. Yep. Alright. Is this a Lofty Denial? Am I playing against him with Flash? It is a Lofty Denial. Okay. He has a free block. There's no point. Well, we're in rewind territory now. So if this is just rewind into Nightpack Ambusher, we are very sad. can make double blue with the... Yep. Well, Philostic isn't amazing, but it's better than a Rewind Night Pack Ambusher. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, no blocks. We are still banking on the hope that our Pelt Collector can grow. Okay. So I'm going to... Going to stomp the goose. This is a flyer for Lofty Denial. So if he has more of them, it just makes it. There's the rewind. Okay. That hurts because the 4/3 body can also be important. Get down this. If we can get down the scavenging ooze, that's pretty good too. And it resolves. Awesome. No attacks. I'm not trying to attack into a Night Pack Ambusher. Does he have it? He didn't have it last turn. Cycles a shark. Okay. That's fine. No blocks. We will start getting lower. But hopefully we can stick a Vigilance Questing Beast. I'll eat my own graveyard, thank you very much. Grow the ooze. Okay. People aren't playing Quench in Simic Flash anymore. So I think I do just try to slam this and hold Garruk as a last resort. Okay. That resolves. In which case I will shock this in. Attack with both of these and not the Pelt Collector. Reason being, yeah, so I'll pump this for damage. Basically, the reason I attack with the ooze and shock in is because if he ambushes like with an ambusher, ironically, then I can eat and he becomes a 5/5, so it takes out the ambusher. That is, you know, if he chooses to block it. So he's holding mana. This could just be making a food. This could be a Brazen Borrower. Okay. Is there another one? That would be frustrating. Cycle's Triumph, sure. I think here we take this. We have a lot more threats than he does, and he's going to get a Borrower down, so I'm not trying to get super low. Don't have the mana to double spell, which would be ideal. I think I still just attempt to slam Questing Beast. Yep. And we get in there. Can't block. Or, he can't block the beast. He can chump the ooze. Makes a 5/5. Come on, block the ooze. Doesn't block the ooze. Okay. So we'll get more damage. No more creatures in here. Down to 6. And the fact that we made him do that means he doesn't have the mana, or didn't have the mana to flash in the Borrower. Okay. So, start out with a Pelt Collector, so if he wants to counter it, he doesn't. Go for a Spellbreaker. Hasty Spellbreaker. Does he chump the 7/7 finally? He can make food and eat it. And I am taking 6 on the way back, that is. Brutal. Oh. Okay. So right now he has a 9. How many creatures? Okay, I can go up to 10. So he doesn't quite have lethal. Oh, he did not account for the Skoo's life gain. You'll love to see it. Good run against Summon Flash. Alright, everybody, we are back. So, takeaways from this deck. I do feel like it is more powerful than Mono Green because of all the hasty creatures. Well, power is a relative term. The cards in the deck are more powerful, but the deck itself is probably less powerful due to the inconsistency in being able to play them. We had a lot of mana troubles, and I left out a couple games where I would just draw purely forests or have to mulligan hands because I only opened with 1 land. But all in all, I'm glad that we went without any temples. I think that the tap lands would have been slow, especially for an aggro deck that wants to curve out properly. I am super happy with the Gem Razors. They performed really well against Mono Red blowing up Anaxes and Ember Cleaves. And even though we lost against that Yorion deck, you saw like the power of it just being able to blow up the caskets or having the option to destroy the ECDs. Same as like you would in Mono Green. And yeah, just mutating onto a Stone Cold Serpent, again, is super powerful. Elder Gargaroth did not show up. I just didn't draw him. So, I mean, you can play on at the spot. It's flexible. Ooze came in really clutch in slightly grindier games like the Simic Flash one. Super happy with this new addition. And Garruk, although in the later games, I wouldn't cast him as often just because I felt like I needed to keep up pressure. Having the option to have a Planeswalker with a giant growth on the +1 and just being able to have a constant creature factory was a really good option to have, especially in games that went slightly later. I don't think I'd run any more than 2, but I was very happy with Garruk's performance. So yeah, everybody, again, deck list will be in the description below if y'all want it, and see you in the next one. Peace.